Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The arrangement of the body and its limbs. He assumed an attitude of surrender. A complex mental state involving beliefs and feelings and values and dispositions to act in certain ways. He had the attitude that work was fun. A theatrical pose created for effect. The actor struck just the right attitude. Position of aircraft or spacecraft relative to a frame of reference, the horizon or direction of motion. A condition or position in which you find yourself. The unpleasant situation, or position, of having to choose between two evils. A job in an organization. The spatial property of a place where or way in which something is situated. The position of the hands on the clock. The particular portion of space occupied by something. A rationalized mental attitude. An opinion that is held in opposition to another in an argument or dispute. A way of regarding situations or topics, etc. The arrangement of the body and its limbs. The relative position or standing of things or especially persons in a society. Atheists do not enjoy a favorable position in American life. A point occupied by troops for tactical reasons. Put into a certain place or abstract location. The act of putting something in a certain place. An item on a list or in a sequence. Moved from third to fifth position. The post or function properly or customarily occupied or served by another. Cause to be in an appropriate place, state, or relation. In team sports, the role assigned to an individual player. What position does he play? The act of positing, an assumption taken as a postulate or axiom. The appropriate or customary location. The cars were in position. Characteristic way of bearing one's body. Stood with good posture. Capability in terms of personnel and materiel that affect the capacity to fight a war. Politicians have neglected our military posture. A rationalized mental attitude. The arrangement of the body and its limbs. Assume a posture as for artistic purposes. Behave affectedly or unnaturally in order to impress others. She postured and made a total fool of herself. A complex mental state involving beliefs and feelings and values and dispositions to act in certain ways. An attribute of the body. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning. The psychological result of perception in learning and reasoning. A deliberate pretense or exaggerated display. A behavioral attribute that is distinctive and peculiar to an individual. A deliberate pretense or exaggerated display. A deliberate pretense or exaggerated display. The quality of being false or artificial, as to impress others. Introduce. This poses an interesting question. Be a mystery or bewildering to. A deliberate pretense or exaggerated display. Put into a certain place or abstract location. Assume a posture as for artistic purposes. We don't know the woman who posed for Leonardo so often. Behave affectedly or unnaturally in order to impress others. Pretend to be someone you are not, sometimes with fraudulent intentions. She posed as the Tsar's daughter. Affected manners intended to impress others. A posture assumed by models for photographic or artistic purposes. A predisposition in favor of something. Showed a Marxist orientation. A course introducing a new situation or environment. An integrated set of attitudes and beliefs. A person's awareness of self with regard to position and time and place and personal relationships. Position or alignment relative to points of the compass or other specific directions. The act of orienting. Formally making a person known to another or to the public. A show or display. The act of presenting something to sight or view. The presentation of new data. A visual representation of something. Obstetrics. Position of the fetus in the uterus relative to the birth canal. Cesarean sections are sometimes the result of abnormal presentations. The activity of formally presenting something, as a prize or reward. She gave the trophy but he made the presentation. The act of making something publicly available. Presenting news or other information by broadcasting or printing it. He prepared his presentation carefully in advance. The act of presenting a proposal. A position lying on your back with knees bent and thighs apart, assumed for vaginal or rectal examination. A sitting position with the legs crossed, used in yoga. Fit snugly into. Tuck your shirt tail in. A straight sword with a narrow blade and two edges. Draw together into folds or puckers. A narrow flattened pleat or fold that is stitched in place. Eatables, especially sweets. Make a tuck or several folds in. Tuck the fabric. Sports. A bodily position adopted in some sports, such as diving or skiing, in which the knees are bent and the thighs are drawn close to the chest. Classical position of the body and especially the feet in ballet. A position for sexual intercourse. A man and woman lie facing each other with the man on top, so called because missionaries thought it the proper position for primitive peoples. Hinduism. A posture or manner of sitting, as in the practice of yoga. A position in the manual of arms. The rifle is held vertically on the right side with the butt on the ground, often used as a command. A reclining position, as in a bed. Go, come, or spread in a rambling or irregular way. An aggregation or continuous network of urban communities. An ungainly posture with arms and legs spread about. Sit or lie with one's limbs spread out. Spreading out in different directions or distributed irregularly. Sprawling handwriting. An ungainly posture with arms and legs spread about. A rationalized mental attitude. Standing posture. Abnormal position of a part or organ, especially at the time of birth. The act of turning inside out. The position of being turned outward. The eversion of the foot. A device designed to prevent injury or accidents. The duty of serving as a sentry. He was on guard that night. A precautionary measure warding off impending danger or damage or injury, etc. An insurance policy is a good safeguard. Watch over or shield from danger or harm, protect. Guard my possessions while I'm away. Protect against a challenge or attack. American football. A position on the line of scrimmage. Guards must be good blockers. A military unit serving to protect some place or person. A person who keeps watch over something or someone. A position on a basketball team. A posture of defense in boxing or fencing. Keep your guard up. Take precautions in order to avoid some unwanted consequence. Guard against becoming too friendly with the staff. The person who plays that position on a football team. The left guard was injured on the play. The person who plays the position of guard on a basketball team. To keep watch over. There would be men guarding the horses. Usually preceded by, in, a detail or point. It differs in that respect. The condition of being honored, esteemed or respected or well regarded. An attitude of admiration or esteem. She lost all respect for him. A feeling of friendship and esteem. He inspires respect. Regard highly. Think much of. I respect his judgment. Show respect towards. Behavior intended to please your parents. He went to law school out of respect for his father's wishes. Courteous regard for people's feelings. Out of respect for his privacy. A courteous expression, by word or deed, of esteem or regard. Be sure to give my respects to the dean. A kind of sideboard or buffet. The mental attitude that something is believable and should be accepted as true. He gave credence to the gossip. A particular society at a particular time and place. A highly developed state of perfection, having a flawless or impeccable quality. All the knowledge and values shared by a society. Biology, the growing of microorganisms in a nutrient medium, such as gelatin or agar. The culture of cells in a petri dish. Grow in a special preparation. The attitudes and behavior that are characteristic of a particular social group or organization. The developing drug culture. The raising of plants or animals. The culture of oysters. The tastes in art and manners that are favored by a social group.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.